This is the Mercedes W211 E220 saloon. Some people have said it's the finest car ever made. I wouldn't agree nor disagree necessarily with that, but this particular car has a problem with the air conditioning. It holds a charge for about 4 to 6 weeks and then needs recharging, so I think I've got a small leak in it. So I've got myself some refrigerant R134A to regas the refrigeration system, but I'm also going to be putting in some leak shield to plug what I think and hope is a very small leak in the cooling system. Now the other problem I've got is that the onboard software has detected that the compressor shouldn't run because the pressure is so low. When I activate the AC, the light flashes a few times and then switches off. So that's another problem I have to deal with, particularly because both this leak compound and the refrigerant both stipulate that the compressor needs to be running. So it's going to be a 4-stage process, unfortunately. I'm going to inject a small amount of the refrigerant, deactivate the fault code using the ODB2 port, then insert the leak shield through the low pressure port, and then finally top it up with the rest of the refrigerant. So stay tuned. Now the first thing you need to locate is the low pressure service port, and the first thing that stares out from you from the bonnet is this thing here, but that's the high pressure port. A surefire way to determine which is the high and low. You can see both out and in pipes here. Now they're going to be carrying the same amount of gas, so clearly the one that's fatter, if you weren't asleep in your physics lessons and you remembered Bohr's law, will be the low pressure one. So it's not that one, it's actually under here. That's where the low pressure service port is located, and you shouldn't worry too much because these valves are foolproof. This will only fit on a low pressure service valve. It will not fit on a high pressure valve. Just show you that. Get this bugger off. That's your high pressure port. Doesn't fit. Look, won't even go on. So don't worry too much about making a mistake, but if you need to find the port, just follow the fatter pipe and you'll come to the low pressure port. This particular can comes with a little plastic cap to protect the valve on the top. The unit just screws into this hole here. And this is the end that fits on the service port. You just pull this flange back and it should clip onto the port. Don't lose your dust caps for the port. Very easy for contaminants to get into this system. Make sure the valve's seated correctly. If we didn't have a problem with the software disabling the compressor, we should see a reading on here and we can fill all the way around to 40 where it says filled in green. But since I only want to ensure that the fault doesn't reset or activate again when I reset it, I just want to put a little bit of gas in here. Now when you fill this thing up, you should be shaking this can from side to side and keeping it upright. Let me just see if I can tilt the camera back slightly so we can get a bit of both action here, going in and shaking. Stop every once in a while and make sure you get a reading. Now that's still on the low side. That's exactly where I want it to be. I'm now going to disconnect the valve from the service port. I'll replace the dust cap. Now on to step 2 of this convoluted process. We're going to be resetting the fault code. Right, we're down and dirty in the driver's footwell again, and we need to locate the OBD2 port. There's a little clip here which should just clip off to the right. Mine swings down to the right. It's a little latch, and that exposes the OBD2 port. It clips on with the fat side or the high side of the D to the right on this model. Bit of fiddling to get it on. There it is, it's in. Now we ought to, this is the iCar soft, specifically designed with firmware for the Mercedes. I'm not sure you can see that there. Let me just tilt the camera up slightly. Right. I'll power up the engine. And I'm going into diagnose. It's the Benz, not the Smart nor the Sprinter. And I have to select which model. And this is the W211 E class. Let's see. That's up to 2005 to 2006. Okay, well this is a 2009 model. Hit OK. It's a sedan, or saloon as we call them in England. And it's a diesel engine, the E220. And it's right hand. There we go, E220 CDI. Now this doesn't mean do you have an automatic or a manual gearbox. This particular setting means do you want to go in and automatically check all of the codes and diagnostic sensors, or do you want to select? And I do want to just select the Aircon, so I'll go into manual. I get a stupid long list of options here. I have to page down 24, 25 of 45, 46, 36, 37, 38, nearing the end of the list now. There we go, AAC, convenience. OK. Right, read fault memory. Refrigerant pressure is too low. I'm sure you can see that. Refrigerant pressure is too low. Check refrigerant level. So we're going to clear the fault now, so I'll go down to clear fault memory. Do you really wish to clear it? Clear trouble code successfully. So it's cleared the fault. Now I'll pan the camera around. We should be able to hit the AC button now, and we won't get 3 lights flashing at it, 3 red lights. Let's just check that. AC, and there you go, beautiful, it stays on. Right, on to step 3, which is to insert the leak shield protector. Right, now we have the compressor running, we need to pop some of this stuff in. This is the leak shield. Now it has its own adapter here, again the same low pressure connector on one end and just an aerosol type connector on the other end. Now the important thing with this stuff is firstly to make sure that the compressor is running. Well, we can do that now that the code is set, but also get any air out of the tube. So I have to place this aerosol thing connector over the top and try and snap it in place. Now I press the top here to try and expel air from this tube. The important thing to remember is to try and get this leak shield to fill the tube, but do it gently because it's could squirt out the top. Okay, I think we've got most of it in the tube. Now we connect this end. Vile looking colour, looks like ectoplasm. Gosh, I put this top back on tightly. Connect it just yet because I need to start the engine. Right, the cap's on and the AC is set to max, and we fill the refrigeration system with the leak shield. I don't think that feels empty to me now. Now we let that run for about 5 or 10 minutes, and then we'll come back for the last step, which is to top the refrigerant up with the R134A. Right, that's been running for a while now. We'll top it up with the refrigerant. Remember, shaking the can from left to right every few minutes. And we need to be, can you see that? We need to be somewhere in the green zone. Okay, we're on the filled mark now. I think you can see that. I'm afraid I'm going to have to stop. My hands are so cold. I'm going to get a pair of gloves on and top it off. So I'll stop the camera there. And just finish off the rest that's left in here to get it some way into the green marker. Right, let's see how she does. I've got a thermocouple linked to a multimeter here, and as you can see, we're at 30 degrees. The AC is on, it's on max. Let me close the door, give it a chance. It's taken us down to 16 degrees, and it's almost like spraying the refrigerant in again. I'm getting a bit too cold, so I'll stop the test here. But the proof of this test actually isn't gassing up the refrigerant, it's whether the leak's been fixed. And I'll put an update on this video in a month or so, letting you know whether or not the leak is actually plugged or not. Right, so that's the leak fix, the fault code reset, and the gassing in a Mercedes W211, and some of these things will apply to other vehicles too, and I hope it's helped you. Just a reminder, the fault code reset is not user resettable without an OBD port scanner and resetter, so that's going to cost you about $100, but they may charge you $50 or $100 at a dealership to reset it, so good investment. If you found this useful, click the thumbs up here.